on, baby.
I mean,
Bill, I can't believe you have not made one comment about my shave.
didn't even notice.
It's just too sexy to notice.
Yeah, I mean,
you won't have a lot of tabs open tonight, and it won't take 45 minutes. That's for sure.
I want to jizz right all over that mustache.
Just gonna need some Lysol wipes for the iPad.
Yeah, that's it. Bill, I saw your sweet social media posts and your American ensemble. You look sexy. You have a Google Meet room?
No.
Oh, okay.
It just said you joined the meeting, but I don't see that there.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Shut up, Bill.
Yeah, Bill.
Oh, you can say it, but I can't?
Yeah.
You guys are dicks.
Say what?
Because he has his producer hat on. You don't.
God forbid.
God forbid.
Yeah, that didn't make sense.
When in Rome.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Put on change your hat, Bill, to just your slight shitbag hat. Thanks. Great.
That's all it takes is just putting it down a little bit.
Yeah, basically.
That's what you got to do, baby.
Hello. Uh-oh.
Hey.
Oh, there it is. All right. Perfect.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I am doing good. How you guys doing? Can you
Very
hear me
good.
okay?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're in.
Perfect.
You're good. Looks like
Great
you have
audio.
a fancy chair.
This is a fancy chair.
Yeah. Yeah, you know. New Orleans, down south mother, you know, love the
Queen style.
the French type.
I'm sitting in a steel chair that I got from the Elks Lodge.
Cool. All right, so welcome to Simple Minds Sports Show. With us is JORI Davis, basketball player, international basketball, professional basketball player, and founder of WeVolv. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can't complain. Just getting ready to gear up to go back overseas, making sure, you know, nobody stops me. I'm vaccinated, so I shouldn't have any problems, hopefully.
So do you have to like book a ticket a couple weeks in advance just to make sure if anything goes wrong, you got a little leeway period, or you're like, nah, like we'll just make it work?
Yeah, it's crazy. Usually you got to make sure your visa, most times, like the past couple years, has been where I get my visa literally the day before I leave. But this year, it seems like, you know, the Italian embassy did their stuff a little bit better. So I have my visa already. So I have my ticket booked. So I'm all set. Hopefully nothing goes wrong. But most times it is last minute everything.
Yeah, exactly. So do you actually even think about that? So do you have to get what kind of special permission or anything do you have to get to travel coming from the United States then?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like a simple work visa.
But is anything else attached?
Yeah, especially with COVID right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, for Italy, it's, you know, Italy's, you know,
They're wide open, right?
I mean, you know, Italy is pretty chill, but I know a lot of friends and players that are going to like Spain. You need, you know, your fingerprints, you need to be vaccinated, you need background checks. Some countries are very strict. And then with COVID, yeah, it's just a lot more. You have to have like a full on physical done.
Yeah.
Plus the test, plus vaccination. It's just a lot. But for Italy,
it's just like cool.
They're chill. They're chill.
Come on over.
Great
That's
food
awesome.
too. Just great food.
Not bad. Yeah. It seems like you're in a pretty good place. Well, let's dial it back a little bit. I want to get your history quickly, and we'll kind of go from there. But just catching up on you, this really stuck out to me. Maybe it's because I was just in upstate New York, but so you grew up internationally. In high school, you started in London and then went to Rochester. if I'm getting that correctly. And
Ew.
and then following the rest of your career, which has been very successful, I just have was that the biggest loss that you've ever taken, going from London High School to Rochester, New York? Like, I know that you made it work. I get it, but like
the biggest L, the biggest L. I mean, I really have no stories from this place. Like, I mean, I have some people I have a whole lot of love for my pit stop here, but you know, I'm born and raised in New Orleans.
Yeah.
So then I went to England, which is different. The food still was like, what is this? I hated English. You know, the Brits, they're not known for their food.
Yeah.
But then Rochester, New York was just like, I hope it goes up from here.
Well, you got Dino Barbecue or whatever, right? What is it?
Yeah, that's like the best.
Dinosaur
Yeah, it's like the best barbecue in the East.
I've been there. I guess I was just up there for
Everything else
there, but
ew.
It's rough. Yeah, I had to bring that up. It's like going from New Orleans to London to Rochester.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good for her. She got out.
Yeah. But my mom, my family's still here. You know, my immediate, my mom, my brother, my dad are still here. But once my brother finishes high school, we'll see what happens. Hopefully it's like, you know,
Italy.
Sell.
Italy.
Hey, good people, rough place.
Yeah, exactly.
So you play for Indiana University. My biggest question is, for a woman, is Connecticut one of those programs that you just absolutely despise, the way that they always get the best talent and they're always in the limelight? Is that just like so infuriating as a woman player?
I mean, for me, truthfully, I wasn't that type of player or person where I was like, oh, UConn. But I mean, you know, everybody, you know, when you're the best at the top, which they're not technically
Anymore.
Yeah. But during my day, it was like, UConn. You know, at the AAU tournament, you're like, oh, who's Gino going to see? He's not coming to our court. He's going to the, you know, the superstar girl in the tournament, and everyone's just watching him walk past. You know, of course, it's like, whatever.
Yeah, and if anyone says anything, like, it's just jealousy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, this is the best program in the nation for a long time. You're just jealous. You can't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you
just got to push. You just got to push yourself better.
Right.
You know, just beat them. Just beat them. I mean, you've seen them lose. I get it. They won like 50 games in a row, whatever, some bullshit like that. You just beat them. It should motivate you, right?
That's what it comes down to. People just, you know, jealous and they want to be in that spot. They don't have that spot, so they find ways to hate on it. So no, I never despised any of those programs. You know, I just liked hooping. And I was just glad I got a scholarship myself. And it was like, hey, if we play them, great. Let's see what we can do. If not, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, Indiana is not a bad place to land. That's for sure.
No.
From a basketball standpoint, it is a little bit the competitive standpoint in collegiate basketball. It's not just beat them. Like, they're getting a little bit of advantage. I mean, come on. Let's come on.
Yeah.
Are they paying?
Yeah, they're definitely paying. Someone's paying something.
Oh, of course.
Hey, now with name, image, and likeness, please believe with those alumni.
Yeah.
You know, just imagine Oregon, Nike. You know, like, hey,
God. Well, look at the football team.
You'll get a branding deal. You'll get a branding deal if you sign to Oregon. Now with name, image, and likeness, that's the type of stuff that I'm sure.
Especially look at the football team. I mean, they built what, $10 million locker room or whatever it was, just dedicated to Nike. It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah, good for them.
Mark
Get what you can get.
Step up for IU.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Find some alumni. Find some rich alumni.
Yeah, right. You were drafted in the WNBA by the Indiana Fever. What was the process like and the experience, you know, going through the whole draft process? Yeah.
Well, first of all, I didn't know I was drafted. That goes to tell you my whole thought process.
Yeah, this was a crazy story to kind of learn about, and then how it all ended up. I'll let you tell a story, but I was like, how does that even work? But go ahead.
I didn't know I was drafted. I think maybe because my agent possibly didn't think I was going to get drafted. That's the whole reason. You know, I probably went through 5 different agents. That's right there. But I was in class, and one of the guys he was just sitting, and he was like, "Oh, excuse me, but Jory, congratulations." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "You got drafted by the Indiana Fever." And then my parents call and was like, "We got the Fever." And I'm like, "Oh, what?" And then my agent calls me third. It's like, oh, congrats, you know, you got drafted, So for a day, it was like, oh, man, I'm drafted. And then, you know, the process was to start to get ready, you know, sign the contract, do all of that good stuff. figure out, when do I leave. But truthfully, I set up a workout with Stephanie White and I can't Coach Klopp. I can't remember his whole name. Set up a workout because they're right down the street. Was all excited. Like I want to get in there before training camp starts so they can see blah, blah, blah. Get to the gym. Everything's locked. Lights off. I'm like texting them like, hey, like, are we still on for the day? Luckily, two of the managers for Fever were also my managers at IU. And so one of them let me in. I'm in there and I see Coach Klopp and Stephanie White in the office and they look completely shocked. So I'm like, okay, they were trying to ghost me or something.
Oh.
I was like, oh, they were like, oh, we had something, we couldn't do it. I thought we communicated it, blah, blah, blah. Basically bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I leave the gym, go work out. Next day, I'm cut. So it was like that was I'm over that now, but it took me some years that I hated the WNBA. My family still was like, we don't cheer.
Yeah.
Some shady bitch. Yeah. So is the goal ever the WNBA, or are you just going to play overseas?
No. I'm heading to my 11th year. I'm fully planning my life, and I've enjoyed it. I've had a great journey of overseas basketball. So, now I'm completely, over it. Of course, if someone randomly calls and say, hey, would you come sit on the bench for us? Yeah, I'll do it. Like, why not?
You take the opportunities. You do what you got to do. I mean, and you've managed to have like you just said, your 11th year, 10 years successfully over internationally, which is really interesting. We've interviewed some ball players that have played internationally, and it's clearly getting a lot bigger. It's clearly becoming more of a realistic kind of opportunity. But I'm always kind of curious, and I'm curious what you would think of this, Troy, in terms of like, you're still playing professionally. You have to maintain that competitive edge. You have to be really responsible with your craft, but you also get an opportunity. You've been in 6 countries, right? Or in 10 years, something close to that. I like to travel. I like to go check out the cuisines, check out the scene, the bar scene. Like, how do you just kind of like keep those isolated?
Yeah.
Because you can't stay there. Like you said, you got to go home. It's not like in the off season, maybe you're traveling or whatever else. So has that been a challenge for you overseas, or you've been able to kind of strike that balance?
No, it's not a challenge at all. The funny thing is fans usually think, oh, you must not ever eat bad. You don't have a beer or wine. And it's like like, I don't care. Even LeBron, like the reality is like, you see some people with certain bodies as athletes. Sometimes those athletes genetically blessed. You have athletes.
Yeah, you're looking at 3 of them right now.
And you have some athletes, they work really hard to keep their physique. I can't say that word right
physique. Now. Yeah. Yep. No, we say it a lot.
You got it.
On Bill's point,
But it is a balance though, to not get sidetracked with the lifestyle, and especially countries like Spain, Greece, and Italy. I mean, come on, like they're great people, they're fun people. They love to eat and they love to feed you. So you have to kind of find that balance and, set a little routine for yourself, but definitely it's not hard to set a routine. I mean, it's still the best part of being over there, because if you're not doing those things, if you're not going out and go and meet some of the local DJs or hanging out and finding ways to meet people, is going to be a very bad experience. And you hear a mix of things. Of course, there's the bad of overseas, but more players are starting to share like, hey, this made me a way more well-rounded person than if I didn't make it to the NBA or WNBA, because of everything you get to do. And so, now a lot of veterans I see are expressing that, like, man, I thought I was losing out on everything. And as they watch everything changing, the Europeans are getting better and they're going to the NBA and dominating. I mean, so you're starting to be like, shoot, actually, I probably think I made a better choice. And actually, so
just never the Brits, right?
They were from that garbage London stuff.
Oh no, they don't have good basketball there, not at all.
Well, I mean, to your point, obviously, in terms of money and career, you probably look at the WNBA or America as, your pinnacle in terms of what you're looking for. But like, there's plenty of people that as in professional sports that are not going to reach that complete professional height in the United States. And like, this seems like there's a lot of opportunity and a lot of good world opportunity to get over there.
I mean, yeah, there's so many of us. I mean, even when you talk about American football, baseball, volleyball is huge, especially in Italy. I mean, jam-packed stadiums. Handball is huge. I saw the championship for that. It looked like an Olympic arena was packed with people for handball. You know, like there are sports over there that are flourishing, but also there are way more pro athletes abroad compared to stateside. And so that's why it's like, you know, the opportunity is there to really be to have a unique experience, and your lifestyle costs a lot. You might not make the same as a certain player that's in the major league stateside, but if you calculate all the expenses, housing, your healthcare, the lifestyle, the visas, all of that, it is actually probably double your salary, which sometimes can be very expensive. So
yeah, you gotta look at it from that standpoint. Well, now Ray and I are dads. We have kids, and we all grew up. Bill probably has some kids, but we grew up playing sports, and you know, obviously, you know, we always joke about what are you going to make your kids play, or what do you want. Now I'm thinking just pick some obscure European sports so we can get some vacations out of it.
Like
you know,
how about curling?
Yeah, curling. Well, that's cold.
It's
You
too
gotta go
cold.
to Canada.
I don't want to go
shit.
to cold.
Yeah, whatever they're playing in Greece, let's get them in on that. Like that would be fun.
Yeah,
Synchronized diving, like
Cricket.
Ray likes.
Yeah,
that's hard to do.
Well, if JORI can succeed, look at this segue. If she can succeed with her next adventure here in her foundation and organization, then we might have a better chance at this.
Yeah.
So, Ray, go ahead.
You started WeVolv, which helps athletes find mentors while still in the game. What type of problems did you have to make you want to start this program up?
I mean, I think any niche group or industry, usually it's the same stories over and over once you reach the end. And I think for me, I went through all of the different, I fell over a couple potholes, as they say, along my journey. And once I got to the end, I realized, well, shit, other people were going through this as well, where like all I needed was a conversation. A conversation or a little bit of something. If you would have shared your story instead of retiring and just going on with your life, I probably could have benefited from those things. So, I mean, I went through 5 different agents when it came to, you know, not being prepared that I was going to get my money in pure cash in Israel, you know, going to shekels every other like 3 days, like trying to manage that, like, you know, those.
Sorry, what I need to hear more about this. So you were just paid in cash money, like out of a guy on the street, or what?
Envelope, cash money, jewelry.
Jewelry?
Cash money. No, cash money, jewelry. Like, here's money, jewelry. Going to the little.
Here's some precious gems.
Yeah, but can I ask you a question though? Can you make more money overseas long term than the WNBA with the way they're paying them right now?
It depends on who you are.
Okay.
And it depends on the extent of your career. Of course, WNBA, I don't know what the average stint of the career is, but okay, if you stay 10 years and compared to a player that stayed 10 years in Europe, if it's Diana Taurasi, she's making more than WNBA. But then you have players that make, I know I've heard of players make like $800 a month. That's, you could go probably work McDonald's and make
yeah.
So the salaries are so drastically different, and that's where, you know, again, stateside, everyone's like, oh, they make more overseas, and it's like, well, that's not a true statement. That's not for everyone. They assume everyone's making that, but people make, as I said, $800 a month to some people making 25, 30, 40,000 a month. You know, it's like crazy numbers. So
and is that's why you see a lot of them after the WNBA season ends, they all hightailed over to Europe, right? And then they start making more money over there just for like a short season over there.
Right. They're making more overseas for sure. However, there are some WNBA players that have gotten cut. So again, they say, oh, NBA, WNBA is the best competition. But as you know, there's NBA guys, WNBA player, women that come overseas and they can't hang. And so the Europeans, of course, EuroLeague Players Association actually just came out with a little mini doc where they had 2 girls, and they could have gone to WNBA, and they both were like, why? We believe we have the better basketball, we have the better league, but the exposure isn't there yet. So it'll be interesting with time when that battle comes, because I kind of take their side, like when it comes to that. Of course, the best of the best, USA. But when you go to that medium lower level, Europe might have them beat.
It's a good thing. I mean, you look at American sports and the heights that they've reached and the money that's involved, even if you know the WNBA is obviously, you know, needs some more support there, but they need some competition, in my opinion. You know, they need some competition media wise and kind of spread that out a little bit, because the hog's getting a little fat there to take a mark.
They need a story.
Yeah.
They need a story. Like the NBA have stories, they have wars and people that, you know, it's like WNBA is a sisterhood. You know, nobody's shaking the, you know, the
need some hate.
You know,
need hate. Bring some hate.
They need a LeBron to go trade for Westbrook for a couple bags of peanuts or whatever. Let's get, but real quick, let's get back. We can talk then if you want, but I do want you to just kind of finish up on WeVolv. It's important. I think, geez, I think that, you know, obviously, you know, your mission here is super important and could lead to a lot of great things. And to everything that we've been talking about, you know, collegiate athletes should be looking at, I think, overseas in Europe as a professional path, as where now it seems like it's more of a backup plan if you know about it at all. So it seems like, you know, with what you're doing, you could open up a lot of doors for people.
Yeah, I mean, essentially what WeVolv, what we're building, is an exclusive digital platform for global elite athletes to help them manage their careers. We focus on player empowerment, social lifestyle, and mentorship. So it's not just the mentorship piece. In a sense, if you think WeChat for athletes in our community, that's what we're thinking. So technology mixed with community, that's what we're trying to create for the global elite athletes. And so, of course, when it comes to smart contracts, when it comes to gamified maps to make us be more outgoing, not just, I forgot the number one pick. It was a quote on Twitter where he said, "I'm boring, I work out, and I play video games." It's like, I mean, people think it's
Anthony Bennett.
Great. Yeah. I mean, great. There are a lot of people that's their life. However, when you're a pro athlete and you get to live in Italy, Spain, and Thailand, and work out and go home, you're missing a lot of opportunity for life after sport, actually, when it comes to transitioning. So we have those elements, and then mentorship, just trying to make it where we'll eventually have a little blockchain in there where we'll have a utility token. So basic things like if I add a new cafe, I get a token. And now I put that first on the map. So every time someone interacts, I'm getting a reward back from that simple community, you know, ad. So yeah, it's like different things like that, you know, super fun. We're really trying to build it for the future. And of course, we're starting for the global athlete, but of course we feel everything we're building on the app can easily transition to the collegiate level. And so, that's what we're trying to do is educate and make the player more independent and make the industry more transparent for us, because we have no idea what's going on most of the times.
Yeah, that's super interesting. Anytime you start to get into NFT talk, you're going to lose like the simple-minded people like us. But it is important, and it's going to be a draw for young people for sure. And just real quickly, and then we got a couple of funny questions here. But I found this quote that you posted on Facebook. You did a post here, and it's kind of to your point of transparency in the industry. And I just wanted you to flesh it out a little bit, because as soon as I read it, I just laughed, but then I had to like figure out what it meant. So you said, I've had nuts dangled above my head in an attempt to use me as a tool to manipulate and control my tribe. Obviously, the part that got my attention doesn't need to be repeated, but well done, because you got my attention. So if you want to flesh out the nuts that were dangled above your head a little bit, I think it's important, because then listening to the videos, like, of course I understand what you're saying.
I mean, hey, any person that's a leader in their communities, again, not just sport, anybody that's standing out that people are looking at, they feel they can dangle something, you dangle a prize or money, whatever it might be, in front of your head, in front of you, to make you take the bait to make everyone else follow. And so I would say it's just more so having individuals say, okay, let's take a small example, like, hey, if you get me players, I'll give you a commission.
Yep.
You see that a lot with a lot of players that maybe aren't sure what they want to do when they're done transitioning. So they're trying to figure it out. So they're trying to find ways to make money outside of just on the court. So they'll do that. They'll start taking money from this one agent, but not seeing the big picture. They don't see what they're actually doing, how they're being used still in the system. And so that's what I'm in. And a number of other ways that people have tried to, because of me and my outlook on the sport industry, they try to get you early and have you to not follow through with the mission that you're on. And I know a lot of players have started with wanting to change the industry, but they end up taking the bag. And,
you end up grabbing on, and it's enticing, and it's a microcosm for a lot of other parts of the world and everything else that we're doing. It's basically a small microcosm for Bill's life. A literal microcosm. Well, this is you're welcome. Super super interesting. Ray, I don't know if you had anything else that came to mind, but I now you're in Italy. It's your 11th year. I know we talked about it's easy to kind of get your routine down, but I'm thinking in Italy the food is another level of good. If you just kind of went to like a big baby Davis style game, you could just pack on some pounds, get down low.
I wish if I could be 6 foot. I'm going out of style now overseas. They want the 3-4-5. So I'm a shorter one. I'm a combo guard.
We agree. I mean, we relate. We're short guys ourselves.
Average.
Yeah. We're average size. Rich, he's a giant.
Right, Rich is a giant at 6'1", 6'2". We're 5'1".
I'm 6'3", you son of a bitch. Respect me.
I'm sorry.
I look up to you. You're a giant.
That's awesome. That's funny. We broke up there a little bit. I think you're back now. We'll just finish on some. Are you paying attention to the Olympics? You're following the competition over there?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Did you have any kind of thoughts or anything when Tokyo you decided to push through with the COVID and everything that you've experienced overseas? Did you have I think it was going to go as well, or?
I mean, truthfully, this is probably inappropriate. Me and a lot of our friends were talking about the Olympic Village and how they're going to have all these COVID babies.
Welcome to the show, Jory.
Yeah, welcome. On the cardboard bed. On a cardboard bed. Like they thought cardboard was going to stop having fucking on a bed. Come on. Been doing that since the 90s.
No. And then we know one athlete that started an athlete dating app that she was saying she was launching during the Olympics. I was like, wow.
You've heard a lot of
why is no one talking about this?
Hold on, you've heard a lot of athletes come out later on and say they're just a complete and utter fuck fest.
Yeah,
that's all they are.
It's kind of known now. But hold on, so you knew an athlete.
You can't put me in a quarters with anyone for longer than 48 hours with me out trying to fuck them. That's it. That's how it goes.
No, the gender doesn't matter. And hold on, back up real quickly. So you had an athlete that started basically Olympic Tinder just for the. She didn't start it just for the Olympics. She had athlete dating app. I think that's the name. I forgot about it. But she was really pushing for it to launch during the Olympics for Athlete Village. As we know.
Hey, bring over your cardboard bed.
Yeah.
I mean, there's stories around that. Like someone should do a specific podcast on relationships around the Athlete Village and all the people that got married, maybe got knocked up.
Yeah. Well, I think you're right. They refuse to give out the condoms, and I think we're going to get a race of super babies that are going to come to power in 20 years.
In 20 years, they're going to be world records broken nonstop. That's all.
I've seen this. It sounds like Terminator.
Yeah, no, it's the beginning of the Marvel comic book series in real life. It's going to get actual superheroes.
We're raising the Avengers.
That is a good. I would watch that. I would watch that.
They
use their
4 miles
athletics to save the world.
Yeah. And where did it all begin? This is where it all began.
Tokyo didn't give
Welcome
any
to
condoms.
Tokyo 2021. Yeah.
That's too funny. Well, we appreciate you taking the time, and I will say just the way that your light is doing, and when you were in your serious conversations, if you ever wanted to kind of pull off like the next God Jesus kind of thing. You got it going on because
really?
it's just white behind you. Yeah,
Yeah, it's very nice.
it's very angelic.
Thank you.
Right there, boom. That's the shot.
Yeah,
You see that?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's it. We'll send you a screenshot. You can use it for your next profile pic.
Yeah. I might do a couple impromptu like
Yeah, selfies. Yeah, do some selfies. Yeah,
I'd do it.
great
I'd do it,
light.
especially before you start taking on that Italian pasta like we talked about. Okay, look, thanks so much. We appreciate the time. Good luck to you. We'll be certainly keeping tabs on WeVolv and everything else that you got going on.
Yeah.
So this has
No,
been fun.
appreciate you guys. This was fun. I need
Yeah.
to pay more attention to your guys' show. I'm a fan now.
Yeah, tune in 6 days a week. We hate Cam Newton and everything else is on the table.
and LeBron James.
Yo, Cam cannot catch a break out here.
I'd love for him to be good. He just is not. That's the only problem.
Hey, he's at the backup QB position right now, so
No, he's starting.
I'll take him as a mentor.
Put some respect to his name, boys. Put some respect.
Thanks,
QB1 in New England.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll
hold
see.
on.
Appreciate it, Jory.
all right. No, thank you guys. Have
Yep.
a good one.
You as well. Appreciate it.
See ya.
Bye.
That was fun. Bill only said bitch twice.
I did, yeah.
And then when they talked about the Olympic Village fucking, Bill just his eyes lit up like it was Christmas.
Yeah, he was like, finally.
Oh, here we go. I have an
Whoa.
outlet. I can talk about this.
When
When
she
I
talked
can
about balls
dump that
dangling in her head, I wanted to make it. Oh, so you weren't talking about teabagging, just to make this clear. But I let that one slide.
Well, no, she was clear. This is
Bill, you
called
put a lot of
tact.
big slide tonight.
This is
Yeah,
called
you know,
tact,
you-
Bill, and a little, just having a little bit of artistry to when the trash bag spills. There's no tact. It's just boom.
boom.
You get everything. You get
Welcome to trash.
you get the empty
I just
soup
wanted
cans.
to, I
and
just
the,
wanted
the
to slip
Corona
in
bottles,
a
the
few
blunts.
jokes, make her laugh a couple times, and then boom.
Yeah, you nailed it.